believe the church is in better condition than it has been at any time in its entire history. My beloved brethren and sisters,
welcome to Once Upon a Mormon,
another testament of religious abuse.
So many have been hurt.
Persecutions may rage, mobs may combine.
whom shall we go?
Sown in corruption.
We need you.
Never again.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again to Once Upon a Mormon. Today, I am joined by just Sister May, but not just Sister May, the Sister May. Welcome along, sister.
Thank you, brother. I'm very honored to be here today.
Sister Donna is off climbing a mountain or camping or something like that.
Some hippie shit.
Yeah, some hippie shit. So she's just dumped us and run. So good for her.
Heartbroken.
That's okay. We can manage. Today is actually a very special episode. This will be our Pride episode. It's the last week of June, which is the last week of Pride Month. So to those who are part of the LGBTQIA plus militia, happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride.
We've come so far in the last several years, and there's still so much further to go, but I'm proud of where we are, and I'm glad to also identify as part of that group.
Yeah, it's just been amazing seeing a lot of the support that is now coming through for all of us. It's just been amazing to see happen.
Exactly. So before we get going, I have a couple of announcements, general ward announcements. We just want to give a shout out to the Joe and Smith podcast, who hopefully soon will be doing a bit of a crossover with. So to Brother Joe and Brother Smith, thank you for your kind feedback, and we've started listening to your podcast as well. So we really do enjoy that. So if you get a chance, after you've listened to our episode, go and head over to listen to the Joe and Smith podcast. And also, to those who don't quite know, our podcast is distributed on many different platforms. So these include Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Audible, Castbox, Podchaser, Podcast Addict, and a few others as well. So feel free to check us out. The YouTube channel is pretty shit at the moment. I've got to give that a bit of attention.
Oh, Brother Hyrum, letting down the team.
I know. It's just.
It's not like you're already doing 5 other jobs for us.
I just need to dedicate more time to the Lord.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And thank you to Sister May for also managing our social network. It's looking amazing.
Thank you. It's been a bit of a letdown the last week or so because I've been super busy with my other job doing stock take and whatnot. But I'm hoping now that, tell me about it. It's been insane. But I'm hoping now that all the big jobs are over, I'm able to jump back on that and get it going again. I've been loving seeing everybody's comments and interacting with all of you. It's just, honestly, it's blown me away, the growth and support that we have received the last couple of weeks. It's just amazing.
I think we're nearly up to 350 listens or downloads so far, and 200 of those have been in the last month. So thank you so much for supporting us and joining us. We're getting more and more messages as we go, and it's really exciting to see people able to join in the conversation and feel like they too can be heard and listened to. So if you would like to be part of the podcast, shoot us an email, onceuponamormon@gmail.com, or hit us up on Facebook and Instagram. We would love to hear from you.
Yep.
Now, before we get going with this episode, I just want to put this out there as a bit of a trigger warning. So today we are talking about very sensitive subjects, about how the church treats those in the LGBTQIA plus community and the horrible things that go on. So if you do feel that you may not be able to listen to some of these things, we'll forgive you if you don't listen to this episode. But for those that are interested to know, there are a lot of things in here, especially some very personal stories. If you do need assistance, please reach out to your local help centre. If you're not sure what that is, give us a message. Shoot us an email. We'll point you in the right direction. Mental health is a very serious thing, and we have survived the church and what they've done to us through this. And so that's why we're here. We use this as a bit of therapy. It's free because therapy is fucking expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So hit us up if you want to chat about it. Even if you don't want to be on the podcast, we're happy to talk.
Yeah, we love hearing from you guys. And yeah, like Brother Hyrum said, we do take mental health very seriously here. Yeah, more than happy to just have a chat. Our DMs and emails are always open for anybody who needs advice or just somebody to listen.
So we know that the church has a very strong stance on gays and lesbians and everybody else as part of the community. Often gays and lesbians are brought to the very front because it is the most open group. You know, those that are bi, those that are transsexual, asexual, pansexual, they don't necessarily get the recognition they deserve. I identify as gay, and I believe, Sister May, you identify as bisexual.
Yes, like I'm okay with being called bisexual, but I feel like the most accurate description would be pansexual, but bisexual, whatever fits.
That's good. Yeah. I should have prepared more before the podcast. And then that's it. And, you know, we're still learning as well. I'm still learning about how people feel and how validating everybody's feelings is important because not everybody feels the same.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play you a short clip. I'm getting real technical here. I'm going to play you a short clip from former prophet Gordon B. Hinckley about gays and the church.
In the first place, we believe that marriage between a man and a woman is ordained of God. People inquire about our position on those who consider themselves so-called gays and lesbians. They may have certain inclinations which are powerful and which may be difficult to control. If they do not act upon these inclinations, then they can go forward as do all other members of the church. If they violate the law of chastity and the moral standards of the church, then they are subject to the discipline of the church. We want to help these people, to strengthen them, to assist them with their problems, but we cannot stand idle if they indulge in immoral activity, if they try to uphold and defend and live in a so-called same-sex marriage situation.
Well, that just is fantastic. I love hearing that so much. I love knowing that the way I feel is a problem. I definitely have a problem.
You are the so-called gays and lesbian.
Oh, yes. Because, you know, I don't know how I feel, apparently.
It just shows the level of homophobia that runs so deeply within the church, because that wasn't very long ago.
No.
I forgot what year it was. I put that together a couple of weeks ago. But just the deep level of hatred and homophobia. They pretend, oh, we care about you, but don't you ever do it.
Yeah. I saw something on the internet the other day where it was like, hate the sin, not the sinner. And it went on to say how that is pretty much just bullshit. And, like, it's not even in the Bible. What they so call as, you know, God saying don't be gay is actually talking about don't be a pedophile. Like,
yep.
Fucking ridiculous. They don't even read their Bible.
It's all about that translation.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing is it's absolutely disgusting. You know, we're going to talk shortly about some more of the ways that the church treats those who identify as part of the BLT sandwich, and just the abhorrent things. I've heard stories about conversion therapy. Like I was sent by my bishop to a form of conversion therapy with a church psychologist where they sat me down for session after session to go through exercises to, you know, convince myself that I wasn't gay, that, you know, I had same-sex attraction, but as long as I didn't act on it. And I think I got through like 4 sessions before I'm like, fuck this shit. This is just a brainwashing turned right up. I thought
conversion therapy was illegal.
The heavy core version is, but because it's more of a psychologist visit, that part isn't illegal. But there are stories. There's a fellow named Eldon. He over in the States, he went and got sent to conversion therapy, and they, you know, strapped him to a chair, and they put electrodes on his balls. And made him watch gay porn and zapped him to, you know, trigger that feeling every time he saw it. And like he's openly gay now, but that is the absolute worst
disgusting
things that people do, because, you know, they think that gay is wrong and unnatural, and it's like people have been gay since the start of time.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus was gay, so you know. So I guess in your journey through the church system, May, what are some of the experiences and things that you've seen happen to yourself?
Well, I when I was a teenager, like I talked about back in our very first episode, school being that safe place for me, I came out to my school friends and, was like, oh, I'm bisexual. And then as I kind of went along in that journey of who I am, and even with the church, I kind of... Yeah, so once I started getting more involved in the church, I was like, just joking. Like,
maybe I'm not.
I need to be righteous woman and, not feel this way about my friends. But yeah, I kind of always had that, or like, I guess I kind of shoved it right to the back of my mind in order to live the most righteous life. And like whenever I had these feelings, I was like, we're just friends. This is just how everybody feels about their girlfriends.
Yeah, that's right.
Not everybody feels this way about female, like, or same-sex friends. So that was a fun revelation. I remember even to the point of not wanting to be in a relationship with a man or have children or any of those things before I left on my mission. That just wasn't really interested. I only went on dates and pursued those things because it's what God expected me to do. And then being on my mission, kind of resigning myself to having a future of having to be married to a man and have children because that's what God said I needed to do. And just the thought, I wasn't even excited about it. I was like, if I have to, and, that's how we get to the highest degree of glory is to have children and, heterosexual relations.
Ew.
I know. But yeah, and then I came home from my mission and just kind of realized how unhappy all of these teachings were making me, like, feeling like I was wrong, I was gross, I was just this terrible person for feeling the way that I was feeling, and deciding I'm fucking sick of hiding who I am and pretending to be someone I'm not. And I remember coming out to my parents and being like, I'm bisexual. I like men and women. I don't care what's between your legs. If you got a good personality and we get along, hell yeah. And I remember my mom then just assuming that I had slept with all of my friends. Because I was living with one of my good friends at the time, and yeah, they identify as a bit gender fluid. And so my mum was like, what about that person that you're living with? Do you sleep with them? And I'm like, no, like, they're my friends. Like, I don't just sleep with every person. Exactly. And I just remember, I don't know if I was offended or shocked at like such a huge like assumption about myself because of the feelings. And honestly, it was kind of like that my whole life. Like, I couldn't have guy friends because, having guy friends meant I had feelings for them, when in actual fact, like, I'm not super attracted to guys. I'm more of a girl person myself, but, and it was just, I remember once I stopped hiding who I was, though, I have become so much happier in myself and more comfortable with who I am and the decisions that I'm making now, because I know that I am actually making these because it's how I feel and they are in line with my values and my personal beliefs.
So I guess just for those who aren't familiar, could you just give a quick explanation of the difference between, I guess, pansexual, gay, and bisexual?
Yeah, so gay, I guess for Brother Hyrum, gay is like same-sex attraction. So Brother Hyrum being gay likes men.
Gay.
And if you're gay as a female, lesbian, you like women, whereas bisexual is kind of like, how do they describe it, like female and male, whereas pansexual can be attracted to anyone. It doesn't matter if you identify as male, female, transgender, non-binary, gender fluid, like, we will get that shit.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good way to put it. Like, I know for myself, after I first came out, I kind of jumped right to the other end of the scale. So going from, telling myself I was straight to be like, oh, I don't have to anymore. So I'm like, I'm super gay. And then I'm actually a platinum star gay. So not only have I never been with a woman, I was born by C-section as well. No.
Gold star.
You got gold star, which has never been with a woman. Then you got platinum star, born by C-section.
Oh God, I love that. I've never heard that before.